Hey, greetings everyone. It is GleeCon, and I'm back with you once again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. On our last episode, we read a couple more letters in the Monster Guide, the Dungeons & Dragons penultimate book in the source book material, although we do have some online web material we'll be going through as well. A little bit I knew about, and then a cache that I just discovered recently. On World of Warcraft Classic, we've been in the middle of a dungeon run. These take longer because, as you can tell, each time you do a dungeon, at best, you're looking at a little over an hour. I did one last night with old Mrs. GleeCon, and dead mines between people getting DC'd and wipes and reset, like waiting for mobs to reset. It took probably 3 hours to do the run. So it was still fun, and at the end, it's just one of those things that's unique to Classic, that you come through it and you feel like, oh wow, this was a really good time. But on camera, the last thing we did was, I believe we took Varrock through the Wailing Caverns. We discovered, hey, why did the druids go there? They want to make the barrens more lush. Why are all of these weird oozes and deviant creatures coming out? Well, it's something they tapped into. There's a potential connection to the old gods and the druids themselves, much like the leader of the night elves in the capital of Darnassus. I'm getting not Fandral Staghelm, the other one. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. The guy with the horns and the wing arms and everything. That we read an entire trilogy and more about. He is trapped in the Emerald Dream, much like the guy in Naralax, who was in Wailing Caverns, and his dream was so powerful it was manifesting all of these deviant things. And when we freed him, we started to get our first inklings that there's an Emerald Nightmare and that there's a connection to the old gods. Shalazir is getting the old god connection too from her side, so definitely we'll jump in. So stay a while and listen as we jump in with Shalazir. She should hopefully be finishing Darkshore now. And we do have lore and just all kinds of things to talk about. So, as you can see, look, her quest log's getting pretty thin. Now we can go up to the Tower of Naralax, where we have also a retrieval mission. We can go down to the Absent-Minded Prospector. I believe, even though this kind of can see on this map, it's actually considered Ashenvale. We have the Lost Master down there. I think one shot, one kill is it's a breadcrumb into Ashenvale, so we'll maybe finish with that. We have this relics thing too. Alright, so we have a few. I say let's go to the top and finish off this map, because everything else will kind of send us down that way. Last time we played with her, I was super duper excited. She gained cat form. Oh my goodness. Now, she doesn't have a lot of moves in cat form, but they're there, and I'm super happy. Just bear form, sea form, or whatever, aquatic form, and cat form now. Super. I've also started working on this talent tree, which will unlock some of these in the balance area, but I'm going to improve my Nature's Grasp for a little while. That's what she'll work on. Then she can start working on some of that. I did get this resto, so when I shapeshift into cat form, she'll start with some energy. I guess that's not normally how it works. Alright, so it seems as though if we're tracking the different stories, which is kind of cool, I don't know that they ever kind of dovetail into one thing. I sort of think they don't. There's just so much lore behind World of Warcraft, which is why we made this show. So from the human perspective, everyone that went to Elwyn Forest, and our dwarves kind of bounced down that way for a while, you have the story of, well, one, there's a history of fighting trolls, but for now, fighting gnolls. And maybe some kobolds and the local weaker monsters that they've fought since time immemorial, or at least for hundreds if not thousands of years. You also have the history of Stormwind really being at the seat of the Alliance for the Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2 journeys. So at the end of Warcraft 1, Stormwind was destroyed. Well, now it's this magnificent city. So the lore that we've uncovered as we go through Deadmines is that the artisans of the city banded together, worked overtime, and at great personal cost to themselves, both in the terms of the individual stories of how such overwork affects their family, and financially putting themselves out as anyone would be. Just imagine not just a union worker, which is essentially what the Artisans Guild are. They're a union, and a powerful one. But just as any individual worker, imagine working for years with the promise of pay and getting no pay. So they were understandably upset, and the leader of this union, this guild, Edwin Van Cleef, has been behind almost everything that you see. The gnolls, the kobolds arising in Elven Forest, stretching into Westfall. So those two zones. But really, there's also some elements beyond, because as we're uncovering that, there is a larger criminal operation going on here, and that it's pretty involved, and one that we ultimately go into the Deadmines to destroy. Well, we get a couple more breadcrumbs that, hey, the operation has even deeper roots, and that's what's going to turn our attention to the Stockades, where we'll find out more. These things also are just delightfully tied into further expansions. As soon as the Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, definitely Cataclysm develops the story further, and then even Mists of Pandaria, when I believe, which is when they make the heroic version of Deadmines. Even Mists of Pandaria is pretty fun with what they do, building the story up. And I won't talk about too much how it changes, because we'll let that unfold naturally. But anybody that's played it, I'm sure, is pretty aware of some of the cool storyline beats to come with that. Cataclysm isn't actually all that terrible. Retail vanilla is not really bad at all. It's actually kind of fun, but it is exponentially more fun in the context of us having played all these quests first. So it's absolutely well worth it to go on these journeys. But what we've also seen is that just by touching into Red Ridge Mountains and the Defius questline, that, hey, this drama has also been extending into Red Ridge, into Duskwood, and perhaps even further, and it all points back to a rotten core in Stormwind, one that ties to the missing king, the king in absentia, his young child son, and the advisory committee, which we know is the history of what happened in Warcraft 2 repeating itself. That what Deathwing did before in order to really pull the strings in Warcraft 2 seems to be happening again. And that we've already alluded to on this show. We know that's going to get us into the Onyxia storyline, and at some point that will the King of Stormwind does come back on the scene. I don't know how soon. Maybe even as soon as this expansion. So that's the cool storyline going on for the humans. That's just one of basically 6, really. No, you could argue 8. Or at least 7. Okay, so now the dwarves, their storyline isn't as immediately compelling, and we'll get to that in a minute, because we are about to start a little storyline here with the Tower of Althalax. This has been sitting in our quest log for some time.
Hello. Elissa sent you. Then it is good tidings you bring. I have troubling news to report to her, and had no means with which to deliver it. A group of warlocks has taken up residence around and inside the tower. I would have returned to Aberdeen to report to Elissa earlier, but I was afraid that I might miss something while I was away. Delgrin suspected such a company might be gathering at the tower, but did not know why. A few scraps of parchment that the warlocks carry have found their way to my hands, but I need more to complete the puzzle. I warn you not to venture into the tower, however. The warlocks there are much more powerful.
Okay, so we have a tower? It says, yeah, okay, so they're saying we need to kind of mess around this tower, but don't mess around too much, brah. Alright, actually, wrong thing. I'm wasting my mana, but let's see. We can pull with a Moonfire and go in with cat form. Well, this is... Okay, so this claws the enemy. Says it generates a combo point. So yeah, I gotta kind of look up some rotations. Bleed. Oh, so this is all over 12 seconds, no matter what. So there's no... You do want as many combo points as you think you can bust out. So like, let's say we go right off the bat, bam bam. See if that's worth it. See, I think that's not as worth it because now I'm generating, I have the energy to generate these extra combo points. We got a worn parchment, I don't think we can read it, no. So, I mean the DPS, that was nice, I enjoyed that.
I'm out of range.
Okay, so let's try going 2, then bleeding that, then we're going to try to build up some combo points on this girl. And then get that one with PR. Okay, that was cutting it a little bit close for comfort there. But, oh, I have a chance to heal my target on hit. That's annoying. I can remove poison, but I can't remove curses. I think that's a mage only thing. We already have 3 out of the 4 worn parchments, so that's pretty nice. Why is my horns weird? I feel like I just refreshed that. There's no way 8 minutes passed in that time. Interesting. I wonder if they somehow shortened my debuff, or if I accidentally buffed the... Maybe that's what happened. Maybe I didn't actually buff myself. Oh, hey, what up? Kitty cat time. So, I think right now I feel like, well, now I'm like... Yeah, what's the point, like, of even generating another one other than a small burst of DPS? Okay, so let's go after her. Oh, I think you can stealth too, actually. I mean, it's pretty fast, I'll give it that. It's a very fast, like, the energy regen seems fast, and I think it's because I've spec'd into that. If you remember, I spec'd into feral combat, so the cost of my... Is this claw? Yeah, the cost of my claw is cheap. Oops, stop that. I want to see some of this. Generates 20 rate. Okay, so that's bear form only. Alright, I saw that and I was like, I wonder if there's some benefit to that. Alright. Come here, little person. I mean, what's better? Is it better to come in from stealth? Right now there's no benefit to doing stealth. But let's check it out. Oh, we got the parchment, and look, there's a Delmanus the Hatred. I'm hated. I'm sure I'm gonna have to go kill him soon. Alright, so we've already come in there. That was pretty nice, quick quest. She is just lagging behind everybody, especially since she is now the one character who hasn't completed a dungeon.
How may I help?
Well, I haven't done it with Callie yet, but she's about to, and Farinell, but on this run they will.
Have you found any more of their scrolls? I should be able to piece together a larger picture of the cult, if you can find them. Many thanks, Shavasir. This should shed some light on this Warlock's gathering. The Cult of the Dark Strand. I've never heard of this group before. Having no knowledge of their history, it is all but impossible to say what their plans must be. There's no more time to delay. Warning must be delivered to Delgrin immediately.
Okay.
My master, Delgrin the Purifier, is a paladin who has graciously offered his assistance in defending our forests from the forces of the demons and undead. He has taught me much about the holy light and the art of battle.
Oh, that's interesting. So this could be maybe how, I don't know, if there's not Night Elf Paladins, like I feel like a Night Elf Paladin could come. This is a cool intro to that.
Delgrin must know of the cult's operations immediately. You'll find him far south of here at Maestra's post in Ashenvale Forest. Be swift. I fear the Dark Strand threat grows with each passing hour.
What? So his quest is just go to Ashenvale now. What was it called? The Tower of Athalax. Where? That's right down there. So let's check this Tower of Athalax quest up, because now if he's gonna make us come back here, then I don't want to. Then we will go run down there and run there and back. Well, it does say it unlocks this Tower of Athalax quest. Oh, it's a full other series. So, let's see. He wants you to go fire scars there and back there. He wants you to. Yeah, so he is sending us back there. So, bummer. All right, so basically this quest line is I don't even know, like it looks like it sends us down. We do a couple quests in Ashenvale, we have to come back. But it is, that's why they're saying it's so much harder, because look, it's a level 31 quest. So even though it's, so we do need to go do Ashenvale stuff first before we come back here. Even though right now it'd be nice, that's what they're saying, inside the tower things are strong, so much stronger. So that's it for now, for what we can do with the Tower of Athalax. But we can come up here and finish out the zone and do Gyromast's retrieval. So much as we have had in a couple other zones, you're gonna, every now and then, they kind of, something unique to Classic is they entice you to come pop back in and visit certain areas. Alright, so looking at the, back on our questline recap, as we're just doing that for fun in our walking at times. So the Ironforge story is not as immediately gripping, but I think it has and nothing really. What you have are, one, there's a general overarching story which has been touched upon in sort of like some manuals and stuff, but not really no real heavy lore tied into it. But it's the discovery that the dwarves come from the Titans, that they are tied to the earthen, that they are possibly creations, although I don't think we know that, but I don't think they know that yet. And everything that goes along with that. So that will lead us to some ties into Uldaman and the Thresh Wackinator 4100. First mate. I wonder if this is going to be tied to a quest. I mean, that's quite a golem. Machine adjusts to face you. On the back of the machine is an empty, oddly misshapen slot with an engraving that reads, Property Okepin Gelkak Gyromast. Yeah, I think this is going to be related to the quest that we go do right here because it's called Gyromast's Retrieval. Alright, and the more immediate quest line is, well, there's fighting with the Trogs, and that's sort of a dovetailed gnome Dwarven quest line. That's the story for both of them, which are that the Trogs have come up. There's for something that's agitated them. There might even be ties to the old gods there. Gyromast's Retrieval.
A pirate's life ain't an easy one, landlubber. It ain't all about plundering and booze. Alas, me ship be sunk just offshore thanks to them pesky Threshodons. What I be needin' is me first mate back in working order. When I washed up in shore, the key for me first mate broke on the rocks and was pilfered by the beasties at Darkshore. Out of the corner of me eyes, I saw some of them raging crawlers, ferocious forest strider, and murlocs rummaging through the wreckage.
Great. He's basically saying, find the pieces of my key, and it could literally be in any creature around here. Cool. See, that's what happened. I buffed the quest giver. Alright, so we're going to experiment some with... these guys are a little stronger, so... not that much stronger. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at the numbers and seeing... what should I do? Should I go all out? Alright, so this is probably a... oh, I see. They each could have different parts. Bottom, top, and middle. I gotcha. So the crabs can have the bottom. Let's try 3 slices this time. I guess it depends on, like, where they're at with their life, too. Like, he was already at half life. And then why not, I guess. Because you know you're not going to... oh, I was wondering... I was doing this with last night, these shiny fish scales. I'm like, what do you even need shiny fish scales for? You need them for... let's try this. What's the benefit of prowl here? I mean, I can come right up on them.
I don't have enough energy.
But is it better to... is it better to just use that on a moon whatever? I don't know. Okay. That was not particularly impressive. Maybe I'll get some like moves that attack out of stealth or whatever. Let's go in aquatic form. Explore. See, that is a Threshodon, but oh, there's a giant clam. Can I get clam meat like right in the clam's mouth? That'd be cool. Oh, and she's gonna turn. See, nowadays I think you can just keep it in there. All right, so oh gosh. At least the Threshodons aren't that strong. It's level 17, I feel like. Whatever. Yeah, when you put the moon whatever on it, it's way better. See, look, my breathing just fills up. That's nice. So we don't want these Threshodons because they don't have... oh, it's the Murlocs. Okay. Uh-oh.
Ready yet? I can't do that.
Alright. He's hit me with the poison because he's a jerk. Lots of clams everywhere. I guess I could just keep a bag open. Okay, let's do a little healing on myself. Cure my poison, I guess. I mean, this Threshodon's a little bit annoying because it's in my way. Yeah, so what we were saying was, that the other aspect of the story is the so we don't the dwarves are, you know, there we go, we got the middle of his key already. So they've been experiencing the trogs. We don't fully know why, although I feel like we've had some quest inklings that, hey, there could be a connection with like the insanity of the dark gods. There could be some kind of connection there, maybe. There's definitely a corruption, much in the same way that there is a corruption that's affecting the things around Darkshore. There is a corruption happening that's driving the trogs mad and making them come out of their burrows or whatever. So we have those story beats. Now the more immediate threat is as you move into Lockdown. Boom, we got the bottom. We start to see that there's conflict with the Dark Iron Dwarves. And that's actually a big one, because that will last all the way until endgame in some way, shape, or form. Because the Dark Iron Dwarves are so critical to first getting your foot in the door of Blackrock Mountain, which is one of the main endgame arcs. I think we have to kill those birds. We need to find the Striders, not the Myrmidons, not the Murloc, Naga, I mean. So we've just started to see that there's some Dark Iron kind of subterfuge and sabotage going on. And as we move into the wetlands, I think that's going to be pushed further. Although geographically, we're gonna need it to eventually have it take us down to the seat of the Dark Iron power, which is Blackrock Mountain. But so we have those two things being connected. We're looking for a connection to the Titans. The Titans are going to inevitably give us a connection to the old gods, that's truly the greater narrative, I believe. And then we also have this Dark Iron conflict, which is just starting to get built up. Okay. Moonstalker Sire. There is some birds. Say there's... I'm prowling around these cats. Might as well just stay in stealth. Random buff just dropped.
I need to get closer.
Okay, let's see. We got 12 seconds for killing now. This just adds 27 points. Yeah, I did not get the key that I wanted, but that's okay. We're doing pretty good. The drop rate, we're not gonna jinx it too much, but I feel like the drop rate's been okay so far today. RNG's being nice to us. Alright, so that's a ripe storyline. It just is going to be more of a slow burn. So the humans are building up ultimately, you would think, to making you want to do the Onyxia type of raids. The dwarves are building up to a lot of different dungeons, but they're going to push us to Blackrock Spire, which is cool. Now, the Gnome storyline's very similar. They're dealing more directly with the Trogs bursting out. We don't know why. That will lead us to Gnomergon and everything, but... oh, gosh. Okay. What we can do here... I guess he's been beating himself up with thorns. Oh, it was his pet, that's why. That's why, it joined the fight all of a sudden. Or her pet, I don't know. Moonstalker run, and this is, yeah, it's a matriarch. So the matriarch are basically like cat hunters and they get a pet. Yeah, there's the runs that come with them. Yeah, so they will lead us up to Nomragon. So which is a pretty good storyline. That's like a mid-game. That's just the Trogs, and then I think they will be equally tied into the Titans and the Old Gods, but they have a more ancillary story. They definitely have a nice story arc. They definitely have their issues, but they're so tied into the Dwarven storyline that other than the Nomragon kind of sub-story, which again is compelling, is fun, but is not endgame material. Even though it's not, it doesn't really get resolved anytime soon. I mean, it's still largely unresolved now. Nomragon is still infested. That's still an instant. Alright, so that gets 3 out of the 4. And then you have the 4th Alliance race, which is the Night Elves. Now, they are dealing with a lot of the things that we've just touched on from the Horde side. They're dealing with the fact that they have this whole new world tree, and it is there are signs of corruption around it. We got a couple birds over here, which is concerning, to say the least. And then we also have our leader
It is too far away.
trapped in the Emerald Dream. Again, concerning situation there. Yeah, we need a burst that's not just bleed, so I gotta have some rotational understanding my rotation. Well, I just don't have a large kit yet. It's because I just unlocked Catherine. So there's also the tie to the Naga. We've already been seeing on Darkshore the Naga are kind of driving the Murlocs, washing up on shore. There's a tie to that and a greater corruption, and now they are the one that are just linking right into. Ooh, that's a foot upgrade for sure. Linking right into the Old Gods. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Old Gods are involved. We're already fighting their agents. There is a direct connection to the Naga and the Old Gods, which is something that, for us, anybody that's played through BFA, it's a mommy one. Yeah, anybody that's played through that far knows that the Naga are. Oh my gosh. See what we can do here. My thorns wore off, and so did my other buff. That's a big part of it. I think I'm hoping that her cat, as mean as it is, I'm hoping her little kitten died. Somewhere off there. Possibly. Alright, let's drink some milk. So yeah, there's a big corruption, and this is also all tying into the Emerald Nightmare. So in many ways, even though this is all taking us back to really a storyline that's tied in Warcraft 3 with the Stormrage brothers, Malfurion Stormrage, that was the name I couldn't remember before. Stormrage brothers and the ties to the Naga being tied to, I mean, what we learn is that the Naga are Night Elves. They are just, there we go, we got the key. Sweet. Okay, took us a little bit of time, not too much time. Runes of Methistra. Alright, so we can go over there and turn in that. But she's really just been doing this, kind of exploring the area, and we're belaboring that theme in this zone. Like, yes, it is. There are... Oh, that's a Mephistra relic. I can get one already. Because I think that's a quest. I guess I'll leave it be for now, but I think I saw one of the quests down here called Mephistra relics. So he's going to send us all the way back up here. That's freaking annoying. I wonder if we can, like, pre-collect them while we're up here. Eh. Mage whale. I mean, I would like that mage whale. I don't know how much I'm willing to fight for it. I like that I can stay in cat form. While I farm. Okay. Stealth and sneak our way through this crowd. Oh, there's a battered chest right there too. Do I want to fight for it? Not really. Battered chests are usually... I mean, they have a chance at having a green, but... Wish I had more... cat moves. I just don't have them yet. Alright, so... all of these storylines are compelling. That one's going to tie... Now, I don't know how much that ties into endgame. I mean, the old gods ultimately tie into everything. The Emerald Dream does. You'll fight the Emerald Dragon Nightmare. So, yeah, okay. So that takes you through endgame.
Hi, how are you?
Have you found me, broke down key, landlubber? Ah, she scurvy sea dog, you did it. Soon you first mate be back in working order, and then beasties won't know what hit 'em. Have you seen me first mate? Gyromass's revenge. Landlubber, you needs to find me first mate. Take this key, put it in his Gulliver, and bring him back here to serve the captain. The Murlocs and their chief ain't gonna be too happy once me first mate gets a hold of him.
You have a great day now.
Okay. Cool, bro. Cool story, bro. Oh, this is that letter we can read from... It says, Master Delgrin, it is as you feared. Your theory about the Tower of Althalax has proven true. A cult has gathered at the tower with many warlocks amongst their number, including even a foul satyr. They call themselves the Cult of the Dark Strand. There's the guy. I cannot imagine what vile purpose brings them together, but it worries me. Please forgive this terseness in which I have composed this missive, but danger lurks in the forest around me, and I can spare a few words to describe the situation. We'll get back to that. Gelkak's key slides into the vacant slot. Thrash Wackinator first mate unit prepared to follow. Actually, I will put... Oh, you can't Thorns him. Oh, he's gonna just follow me? Oh, cool. Well, that's easy. Alright. I would deliver this message to you myself, but I fear to leave lest I miss something of great imports. What do they call that? Fear of missing out? FOMA. Should you wish to know more of my observations on the Tower of Althalax, the bearer of this message has provided no small amount of assistance to me, and I believe she can be trusted. In haste, foul fool. Shadow Strike. What? Ah. Why is he fighting me? I do not know what's going on with this guy. What the heck? I didn't know he was gonna attack me. That's lame. I guess I could have read the... and lead it back to Gelkak. So you lead it back to him, and they start attacking, and that dude doesn't even help? Oh, it is an elite. It is an elite quest. Crap. So I did not realize that. I would have tried to buff up a little bit or something. I don't know what. He's a robot, so he's going to be immune to a lot of my debuffs. I don't have any bottles, or so I just wasted my defense potion. Yikes. Okay. Not ideal. And he doesn't help you? I don't know if I can beat this quest as a level 20 elite on my own. Let's look around. See if there's anybody in the zone. I think maybe if we even had like one other person, I could try. I mean, I could try to tank it, but it's... Yeah. It did not... I should have seen right there, with it being an elite, it did not indicate to me that I was going to be, Okay, so we have another person coming to help. That's cool. Alright, so... let's see what we can do. So if they need the keys, then there's not like a ton. They can do. They probably still need the keys, so we're going to be stuck here grinding out the keys, which is going to slow this whole episode down. I was already looking at the time, and I'm like, I don't know how we get through all those quest chains as well. It's just not enough time. Alright, so... yeah, I was kind of just looking, see what we got. I'm gonna ask him. Alright, so I guess we'll just help this person get the key. Okay. So, because we're not going to be able to do it alone, but maybe together. She's got all the buffs on. I don't. So if she wants to be bear form, that's fine. And if she's going to hit him with the moonfire, that's fine. Yeah, so she still needs the keys, so we're going to be going to get this, but hopefully it'll be a little bit faster.
I'm out of range. I can't do that.
I mean, they're sitting there running around like...
This ability isn't ready.
like they're ready to tank this. I mean, they're shredding pretty. Both passed on it. Fine, I'll take it as agreed. Yeah, I'll run out of space soon, though. Okay. I'm basically just saying kind of what I just went through. Which is that the Striders are sort of just everywhere around here. Maybe they're a leather worker, I don't know. He wants the Moonstalkers. Oh, he needs it for the other quest. Okay, so I'm just gonna spread my dots over everything. Sort of like I would do in Assassin Rogue form. Okay, so cool. Yeah, I don't wanna sit here and help them farm the fine pelt. I'm not all about that. Good for them. But I'm not that's not what I signed up for. I'm not here to just help somebody else quest on quests I already did. Sometimes I might do that, but it's not what I'm making a video with you guys. We already got this guy. Why? Oh, you don't need that anymore, bro. So we got a cat and a bear. This is kind of a interesting little collection of people. I do like how you have to work so hard for like every other form, but then cat form, they're like, you can just have it. Get to level 20, you can be a cat. How are we going to be able to take this thing on together? I don't know. I mean, these are 21, so... Okay.
Body isn't ready yet. I need to get closer.
I think we both went to heal each other. Like, we both went to heal me. Okay. They healed themselves. They obviously didn't get the key. Okay. I'm here. And yeah, if I can spread dots all over them. Kind of make it work a little bit.
Not ready yet.
Yeah, so this is a decent combo because she's just sort of going in tank mode. Tank spank. Alright, we got the bottom of the key. Okay, so... Well, that's good, they have their aquatic form mode already. I don't remember exactly where the Murlocs are. I might be going too far. I don't remember exactly where it's at. So there's, yeah, they're just kind of saying, as you can see, like Questy, they're just following Questy. That's fine. This is Whaley Blackmill School. I don't remember where. I feel like I don't remember going this far to get it, but whatever. I might have. We might have. The giant clam. Get more clam meat, I guess. Right, that person is. Yeah, they're competent enough to tank it. Look, there's a little coastal frenzy. And maybe I'll get lucky and they will have done that part of the quest already. Okay, let's get the key parts.
I can't carry anymore.
Okay, so I gotta toss some stuff, I guess. Alright. Come on, loot 'em, bro. Some of these might have you. Yeah, this is not where we did it on the quest. We left a dumb Murloc eye. So we are, yeah, it's a lot. It's harder when you're following someone else's lead. I like it as a cat. I'm underwater.
Inventory is full.
Are you kidding me? All right, there we go. They got the key. All right, let's go. All right, so now we got to go turn this stuff in. Gotta go back to the way back up the shore. So I guess, yeah, we could skip through the bay, but they're pretty good at yeah. So I'm describing what happened to the person. I'm saying how it caught me by surprise. So, yeah. So I'm also describing how I'm spec'd into the cat form, but robots are... That's crappy against robots because they don't bleed. So I can't use my finisher on them. So that takes the ability for me to even use cat form really out of the picture. Which is whatever. that's not the end of the world. Especially, I don't have a ton of cat stuff yet, but that's a decided weakness, I would say, for this spec. That's why I went Frost Mage, but now that I think about it, but there's not nearly as many, like, what do you have? Nomergon, where you fight some robots, and then you have some random robot minions here and there. It's not like where you're frequently encountering entire types of people that are immune to the type of damage you do. Okay. So now they're ready to go to the next part. We got another druid. It'd just be a druid squad. Well, we could probably decrease his armor. I didn't do that last time. Well, really, I wasn't freaking realizing we were going to fight this guy. Okay, so he follows us. Okay, we'll let them... Yeah, they've got all those buffs on, so... Okay, we're just going to get these going on gently. Yeah, they're gonna help us. Hooray. Alright.
Can I help you?
Yar, you be proving yourself to be more than a yellow sea dog, landlubber. The cap may promote you to poop deck swabby if you be keeping this up.
Be seeing you.
Alright, so we are done with that. I'm glad that that person came in and got a couple clutch shots off at the end. So let's see, where's my Hearthstone team? Aberdeen? I guess let's Hearth back there, because we're way up here and we have nothing else. That will at least cut our journey in half, because now we've got to come down here. We'll do a little bit more, because I really wanted to try and finish this zone today. That's obviously not going to happen. It's just too long.
My goods are of the highest quality.
Oh, we don't need this bowl of scrying, I don't think. Toss that. I think we already used it. We can sell that. I don't need water breathing because I can already go in aquatic form, so scrap that. Yeah, these are like a lot of animal trash. I don't think I use that except maybe if I get flap or something. I do need that for the one quest. I don't need that. Okay. That's all good now.
Farewell.
I should I want to... Oh, I got plenty of wool. Oh, I can't make wool bandages because I'm not at 80. I need linen. Yikes. Okay, I could do some things with those. Oh, I missed this whole step. So I got the key, but we don't need that anymore. That's gone. I know I don't need Murloc eyes. Or fine sand. I don't need slimy fish scales. But I do think there's some cooking I could do with all this. So let's actually move this up here. So let's see what we got. What can we cook right off the bat? Well, oh, that's already... Her cooking's 132. Jeez, she's super cook over here. Mild spices, I can make those crabs. I can make the clam chowder with milk. I wonder if there's
I've the finest wares in the
more
land.
milk. Can I buy more milk? No, so I guess I'll just use my milk. whenever I get it.
Welcome.
Can she repair? Yeah. Alright, let's go
Safe
cook over
travel.
there. So we gotta keep an eye out for milk. Because that's how you make the clam chowder. And that's a good way for her to level up right now. So boiled clams, that's 4. What is it? Wait, where's that? Yeah. That's crab cakes are also 4, whatever. We'll make a clam chowder. Actually, let me buy more spices. I'll make them all in one go. So I guess I'll
Well met.
sell that crab cake.
I have the finest wires in the land.
Buy another pack of them. They're only 9 copper for the whole pack, so it's worth it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the crawler claw though. I feel like there was maybe a crawler claw. Oh look, there's strider meat. If I had some apples, I could make strider stew. Yummy. But it doesn't give me anything, so maybe it's not worth keeping. Alright, so I will save the clam meat, because
Hello.
as I get milk, I can make more of it. A fruit vendor, I could get some apples,
Hello.
but it's not worth it. Let me toss those. I don't have a recipe for these crawler claws. Yeah, so I'm going to sell them, I guess. Sell that. I do have that. That does not look like clam chowder, but okay. Let's sell the strider meat. These herbs up here. Black mouth oil, I do need that.
See you soon.
Okay, I did die. Alright, cool. So now, let's make our way down. What do you say? Should we go down to Methystra Relics down there? Quite a little walk. And if he wants us to go up to the top, if that's the only place for Methystra Relics, that'll be annoying, but maybe we'll at least do that one quest. Didn't seem that bad. And really, that quest that we just did took us a little longer than it should, because it was a little elite quest. So we came up, we did... What did we get? Yeah, we did a quick warlock killing quest here, but that one's getting bumped to... A big chunk of it is much higher level and makes you go to Ashenvale. So we're kind of stuck on that. Yeah, I bet you we are going to have to go from Onu way back up there. That's annoying. So dumb. Why? So we will just enjoy the journey. And as we enjoy this journey, let's now talk about the Horde storylines that we've done. Okay, so you have the Orc and Troll, and much like... I think even to a greater degree, there's not a lot going on in the Troll storyline. You know that for whatever reason, the current leadership of the Trolls has had a rift. One of them's kind of turned to the power of the dark side. But you fight and kill him, like, right away. Intro level quests. So there's that, and there's not a lot of others. Now, there's the greater picture of the Troll, which we might get into some of those things as we go up into Jinthil lore, and there's tons of Troll-related quest lines, but they're not necessarily tied into the Darkspear Trolls, and we haven't really encountered any of them. So the Trolls are kind of lurking and looming. I mean, we've got some of the Frostmane Trolls that we've killed as the dwarves, but they're almost like a sect of themselves, and they're primitive and whatever. Now, the Orcs, they're dealing a lot with the tensions between the remaining humans from Warcraft 3 that kind of had the same mindset as the Proudmoors. So, there's that. And in addition to that, you also have the remnants of the Warlock, the internal conflict. So their kind of leftover legacy from the war is there were warlocks that were basically banished and forbidden, and can't be a warlock anymore, and the whole Shadow Coven, Shadow Council or whatever, is working behind the scenes with demons, and they are trying to bring back the burning blade, the searing blade within. So there's that whole quest line, how that's working from within. Although you really lop the head off of that when you do Ragefire Chasm, and that's not particularly an endgame, other than the fact that sure, there's some ties then to Chokegall and the other cultists, and that will eventually lead to ties with the old gods as well. But really, they're just dealing with surviving in a world where they were the aggressor, and now they are just kind of surrounded, it feels like, on all sides. So they have a lot of war kind of storyline beats. Having to survive all of the various factions. The Night Elves, the other Alliance humans, the infighting, so all of that. Alright, so here's Oni again. We have been to this little thing. I didn't realize. Maybe we weren't high enough level for this quest to... What does she say? Steamed mandu.
I am listening.
Okay. Alright, Onu. Here, as you're rooting through the ruins of Mathystra, been fruitful. What? So we technically have this quest, and Questy just screwed it up. That's why we could have picked those. That's super duper annoying. And I can't even abandon it, because it's... Oh, it's right there. Okay, so I'm going to abandon this quest, and then pick it up again. Lame. Alright, so yeah, we're tying more into the Twilight Chamber. That's so annoying. So that was a Questy glitch. Thanks, Questy. That basically made us have to run all the way down this road when we were right there, and we could have taken care of that quest while we were up there. Son of a biscuit. I think that one's been glitched out for a while. Are there any others that we have here? 3. We already did that. Oh, but we turned that one in Ashenvale. That one we have. And that. Okay. Yeah, we have those two to turn in. We have that. Yeah. So, I just think that those both are going to take us a little bit of time. So annoying. Alright, so... I think we'll call it wraps on this, and but when we get back to Aberdeen there, because we're gonna have to go back up there and get those. Then we're gonna have to walk back. I'm sure there's a little bit of questing that will take place there, and even though all we did was complete one small quest there and then a short quest chain there, that's just how it goes. This is why she's behind everybody else, because since nobody else is on her storyline, and I'm not pushing myself like we did with Farinel to do like 2.5 hour videos sometimes. Yeah, that one. But she's just moving at her own pace. She's only level 20. Ugh, it really makes me want to push on through and do that quest. Because she's falling so far behind everybody else. Oh well. She's just going to be living her own life, doing her own thing. Yeah, there's no rush. So we didn't get accomplished quite as much as I wanted. I'm really annoyed that Questy, I really should have looked a little harder. It's just, it doesn't appear here. There was no, you start relying on that text so much, on the mods. Yeah, so we'll go to Aberdeen. We'll get to a spot where we can get that rested XP back, and then check in on Shellicere. She's the only one not doing a dungeon right now. We got to play around with cat form some, so that was nice. So yeah, just wrapping up the lore for the characters. We do have some ties, but really the orcs are just, we're still kind of spreading out. they went into the Wailing Caverns, which everybody kind of congregated there. Well, between the trolls that works and the Tauren. Now the Tauren have their really not a lot. They deal with some of the like goblin prospecting. You kind of get a sense of who they are because it's the first time they're really playable. You play them a little bit in Warcraft 3, but not as a faction. And then you get their ties into the druid, and they go into Wailing Caverns, where we start to now pick up the first lore beats for them, which are, hey, the same things that we already talked about. The Emerald Dream, the old gods are related to this. There's a corruption going on. There's a nightmare, which is leading to some of those same kind of endgame beats. And then finally you have the Forsaken, which have an overall greater plot building up with the Plague. And the fact that they want to fight the Scourge, and that will, we know, end in the eastern and western Plaguelands portion. So they're the ones that are most primed to go do that. You also have all the fights coming up with the Scarlet Crusade, which will build up to the Scarlet Monastery endgame stuff. And then in Silverpine, they have a cool quest line where they're dealing with all the werewolves in Aragol, and there might be a greater connection there as we complete that dungeon. But we have a nice little adventure as we continue. Thank you everyone for watching, for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing with you guys, and I look forward to seeing everybody next time. This episode is on In the Pipe 5x5. See you next time on Lore of Warcraft.